Good morning, Facebook Live. Good morning. This is Sandy Winborn. So happy to be here with you this morning. I'm excited. I hope you had a good Easter. I know it was different than the Easters we've had before, but this is a new. This is a new for everybody. No one's in my lifetime, and probably in your lifetime, have you seen a pandemic do what it's doing to our current society. So it's very interesting to know that life can change quickly, meaning our freedom of movement was taken away, and so we have to know how to deal with that. What do we do with our free time? And I always ask you the question: are you stuck? We're all stuck. Currently, we're all stuck. We're all in a situation where we have to relearn how to do some things, or learn how to do them better or more efficient or more practical for the current situation that we're in. And so, I say good morning to all those who may come into this space of mine right now. And I tried to change the lighting this time. I was in my living room. I don't know if you've seen some of the things going around on internet that show, I'm going on a vacation today. I think I might go to, the Hallelujah living room, or the Hawaiian living room, or I might go to Las Vegas bathroom. Our choices are limited if we're doing what quarantining says that we should do, which is stay home. I'm certainly doing it. Every time my daughter goes out and comes back in, I'm bugging her. She said, "Girl, you getting ready to make me want to leave again." Well, okay, but I just want us to be safe. I want you to be safe, and I want me to be safe when you come back into the house here. So certainly we want to look at that. And certainly if you are going out, I want to make sure you have some covering for your face, because they said it does, hang out in the air a minute, and certainly hangs out on things that we touch. And also have you some gloves. I don't know what I did with my gloves, but I don't need them in the house. I don't even need this in the house, but I'm just saying I try to look at being prepared for what my actions are for the day. And those of you who are staying in the house, I've been looking at the TV, and having been a counselor for a number of years, one of the things that happens when people are confined, trouble happens. In fact, the things that, as families, the things that came up when you were younger come up again. They rear their head again, not because they may be really happening, but because that is the experience you have. So you end up with what they call a chilling effect. And the effect is that even if the things aren't happening, you feel like it's happening again. You may think that you weren't the favorite child, and now you find out that it's true. Or that you were the favorite child and you never knew how to endorse it, how to embrace it, how to get excited about it. But all I'm saying is that if there is abuse going on, certainly report it. Do not wait until the quarantine is over, excuse me, to say that I won't see them no more for a while. That's not right. You really need to try to get on the side of being safe. And that's certainly important, certainly at the top of anybody's list, and let's face it, tempers fly when you're in confined quarters. And one of the things I remember my mother doing for us, she would corral us in to vet us out. And the corralling came when she told everybody to come in one place at one time. And then when she felt that she needed to give instructions, the instructions are, you go there, you go there, you go over there, you go there, and you don't move. So that's what my mother would do to us. And we got to a point where we understood how the plan worked. If one was in trouble, probably we were all in trouble. So I just say to you that if you see, you got an incident, that's erupting, don't let it get to the point that it gets worse. If anything, you be the bigger person and walk away. You go find a place in the house that just gives you some comfort, some cover, and certainly no quarrel, none whatsoever. But today, in the Are You Stuck area of my business, which is called Wendy and Associates, we're going to go over the last thing on this card of Don't Look Back, which talks about you need a career and not a job. And the reason I did this originally, for those who don't know, I did this for the ACTS reentry program, and it was wonderful opportunity to really help people who had made some bad choices, made some wrong turns, made some what they call some horrible steps. But when you step and you're looking at steps can go up or they can come down. And so if you're not on the steps that going up, then you might be going down. And so what I was trying to tell this group of young men and women that were taking this course is, don't look back. You can't change what's behind you, but you can order the steps going forth. You can put one foot in the other, and guess what? You're further away from what you used to do. 2 steps, 3 steps, 5 steps. Guess what? You can walk until you run, and next thing you know, you're farther up the road. And don't let people criticize you, because some people will keep you where they remember you. But guess what? You can only let them keep you there if that's how you act whenever you're with them. So get away from it. You don't even need it. It has no necessary bearing for anything that says it's a good thing. It's not a good thing. Turn away, go and find yourself something new that you can rebrand yourself. They always talk about branding. And branding is where everybody says that's what she said, that's what he did, that's how they work. Okay, they understand that. And so for this one, today's, it says you need a career and not a job. And the reason I say you need a career and not a job is that career has movement. Okay, because you can have a career and have all the necessary, what they call certifications and licensures for that career. That means you're not bound to stay at that job. You're not tied to that job. You are tied to the career itself. And you shored yourself up on all the things that you need to say that I'm going to do it. I'm going to be able to run in this career. I'm going to be able to run other people, not only towards this career for how I do it, but also be at the top of it and encouraging them. Tell them, come on up here where I am. Come where I am. I'm on the other side of where you've been. I've been there too. Because none of us have not been through turmoil. We've not been through problems. We've not been through anything that really says that we've done some bad stuff, but if you have a believing force up above you, for me, it's God. I'm glad that he said, okay, don't do that no more. That wasn't good. And that's what you want. That's exactly what you want. So anyway, on our card here, on the Don't Look Back, and the whole thing is that this ended up being launching opportunities in transition. And, as I said, for those who don't know, I woke up with that, with the whole wording. And I was sitting talking to Bishop Rankins, and I said, hey, Bishop, how's this sound? He said, sounds good to me, whatever you want to name it. So that's what I ended up naming it. And when I looked at it in the Bible, of course, it came up with Lot. And you know the story of Lot. If you don't know it, I'm not going to go over it here today because I have some other good stuff. But I want you to take the time and just read that little bit. And it just talks about the whole concept of don't look back. Don't worry about what you cannot change. You can't change it. Don't worry about it. So anyway, it says, if your career field that you're in requires certification and license, then you must. It doesn't say you might want to get it. It doesn't say tinker in it, whatever. It says you must study, volunteer, take, and pass your credentialing exam. And there's many a person who's probably done, once again, they've done some things they shouldn't have done, and they can't get into the regular system, okay? Ex-offenders cannot get into a system of working where a lot of times people will leave that little block empty or don't even put the block on there where it says, are you a convicted felon? Most of the time, you're going to have to confess it. We would like to think that we're getting further away from that, because I believe just like people that have done some really horrible things have turned their lives around to become absolutely stellar residents of various communities. So I say, do your thing, change your life. And if your career that you're interested in or you're into, certainly look at becoming certified or licensed, because that means you can work independently. You can become your own boss. You can start your own business. You can be you, okay, with a LLC after it, okay? For me, I did pretty traditional. I was pretty corny, so I did all the traditional kind of things, and I ended up doing everything that I expected, that I wanted in my life, and I ended up going to school and having that opportunity. Well, what I did with it is that I went and I worked for a company that basically, even though you may be creative at that place, your ideas, your contributions are not yours, okay? Because the intellectual property of what you created does not belong to you. It belongs to whoever you work for. And so think of the opportunity you would have if you have a creative side. Once you take this multiple intelligences test and you figure out that you have this capability. Sorry, I do have a dog that doesn't belong to me, but he keeps staying here. I don't know why. But anyway, he must hear somebody outside. So do pardon that, but that's life. We're going to let him. Hush up, Gucci. He ain't going to stop, but I just wanted to tell him that. But anyway, if you have a career, you just have an opportunity to do something, to make your own business, so and so and associates, or blah blah hairstylists, whatever your name is, whatever it is, you can do it all. You can do it, but it has to be based on what it is that you want. You're not worrying about what anybody else is looking for you, because I'm telling you, people will look away from what you want to do and what you can do, but they'll look to you for what they need you to help them do. Remember that, okay? That's a good thing, because people are always, you have to be your own boss. You have to be in your own way. And sometimes we're not always there. And when we've lost confidence, and what I say, our back days, our walking back days, our troubled days, when we're walking back, we can't see our own real persona. What we see is that we're troubled. What we see is that, Junebug and Jezzy Lou got something going on, and we're going to hang with them, But it doesn't serve the purpose of what we can do for ourselves. At some point in time, you have to decide that I am me. I am who I am. I am the one. I am the person that I need to be, okay? Meaning I'm not going to worry about my sister, my brother, my mother, my father, and then let's go outside the family. I'm not going to worry about my girlfriend A, my girlfriend B, my girlfriend 2 A's and 2 B's, whatever it is, let it go, okay? Because in the long and the short of things, only you matter. We want people, we want friendships, we want love. We're human. That's the human side of us. But they can't be in the way of you making a successful life for yourself. They cannot be. You must look away from what your past has been. You must look away from where you've been. You must look away from who you've allowed to treat you differently than what you deserve to be treated. And then you have to stop mistreating yourself. This is important. If you always think you belong in your past, well, guess what? You in your past, even though it's current day, you in your past. Okay? You ever see someone who, and I know this reminds me of my church, where somebody always wore the same hairstyle, the same suit, the same shoes. Well, no criticism about what they had. That's not to be a criticism. It's just that a lot of times when you talk to them, they were in the past. They felt good in the 60s. Maybe that's when they felt that was their real opportunity to mature, and that's where they stayed. What I'm telling you is move beyond the decades. Move into your current self, And I'm not telling you to change whatever you want to wear, you wear. Whatever you want to walk in, you walk in. However you want to wear your hair, you wear it. But what I'm saying is be genuinely you. What do you want? Where do you want to go? So getting back to the career, what career is right for you. The only way you're going to find that out is if you investigate. Investigate in yourself. Spend some time into who you are. And this is a great opportunity. Now that we're quarantined, we have opportunity to really do some stuff about who we are. So on the other side of quarantine, we smile more. We're more excited about us. Okay? Oh, we're going to be excited about seeing our best friends, seeing our family, seeing, our teachers, seeing our preachers, whatever it is, you're going to be excited. Don't get me wrong. Okay? Because I'm already looking for the day when I can, say hello to all the people in person. But what I'm saying to you is that the fact that on the other side of quarantine, you could have a new walk, a new talk, a new idea that you're working on to what they call, put into fruition, put it into something that makes you more of what you were given in terms of your talents and your gifts. That would make it so exciting. That would make it absolutely wonderfully exciting. So what I'm saying to you today is let's look at the don't look back by looking at some of the learning styles we have. Some people don't even know how they learn. They just know that they're having trouble learning. But listen, if you pay attention to what some of what is already been, scientifically shown, is that we all have the capability of learning. And we learn based on our own style. Okay? We may be a visual learner. And it says a visual learning style is learning by seeing. We must see it. Okay? And it says you learn visually whenever you gain information from what the sight is. Okay? Like the naturalist that's outside and the beauty and all of that. That's wonderful. But the person who probably can look and put together fashion with colors and style and ability to see movement, that would be visual creativity. But they got some other things too. But being visual is the absolute way that some people must learn. And I think the other day I mentioned that if you're reading a book and, because you're not so much of a linguistic person as you are a visual person, the fact that it may not have pictures may cause you to have trouble reading the material. Well, what I suggest to people is if you give it attention and keep going back to it. I tell you, I used to have trouble reading, and as I told you, I had one eye, and those who don't know, I still do. I couldn't read. I was afraid. But then I had a teacher that was just so good. And she taught me word attack. She said, attack the word. Read it, break it down, So the visual learning for me ended up turning into me also having the ability to listen to what was said, meaning it brought me into auditory learning. So an auditory learner is one who learns by hearing. They basically must hear it. So that means a teacher teaching something, doing the instruction. That means, your parents, because they said everything that we ever knew. By the time we were 3, we knew some things because our parents had taught us how to eat with a spoon or a fork, how to stand in line, how to stand still. Look, how to sit in the corner. Y'all know about that sit in the corner. That time out used to kill me because I couldn't sit still in the first place. So time out sitting someplace was a bug. But I'm just saying that if we realize that there's certain things we have to do and put in place to make us and to make us be in a position to learn, then that's what we do. And since auditory learning is a style that they have to hear it, and you always wonder, people who are lacking sight and lacking hearing, their other senses increase. They don't have to see you, but they know your voice. Okay, that means their hearing is wonderful. Okay, or they don't have to hear you, but they see you. And then if you're doing signing, they can absolutely read by your hand gestures what you're saying. So it's just wonderful when we take the time. Most of the time, we take things for granted until we might have the possibility of losing them, you know. And so the last area that we're going to talk about is kinesthetic or tactile learning. And that's when you actually touch something. You're moving or you're touching it. You're moving or you're touching it. You know, the person that, you know, can dance, they are a person that has movement in them. Okay. Also, the person that who might be a sculptor, you know, they have to touch it. You know, they have to feel as they're going along, as they're creating this piece, this artistic piece. They're looking at it as the way of, how do I mold this? How do I want to make this woman's face look? You know, is her nose large? Is it small? Is it scaled right? You know, that is a person that has this tactile learning style and this tactile ability. And the kinesthetic is the person that has the ability. They can teach you how to dance. In fact, I saw something on, somebody challenged me on Facebook yesterday to learn a new dance. They also challenged our pastor, Lonnie D. Wesley III. And I had to write in there and say, look, they're going to have to teach both of us because we can't do that. But anyway, the learning styles are vital. They're vital because once we know our learning style, guess what? We have the ability to learn more. If we learn with the way in which we learn, you know, and we use that way, then guess what? We can learn more. Now, let me tell you that some of us are just multiple learning styles. We have all of it. We may have just a little bit, you know, of auditory because we have a hearing problem. But guess what? We have the ability to see, and we have the ability to move. We have the ability to touch. And so all that pretty much says that we just we have multi levels of learning, and we should use them. You know, the more we use them, the more capable we become at basically just forming a new us. And so what I'm doing is trying to challenge you while you're off. Investigate this. There's a link, and you know, my friend is going to get on me again because I did forget to put the link in before I actually started my video. But every morning when I do a video, I'm so excited to get started that I literally forget. To write my pre live show. But I want you to know that I will do it immediately before I post it, and you will have an opportunity to see that link again. But also, I want to tell you, Facebook friends, I began a YouTube channel, and you can now go to Sandra L. Winborn, PhD, and you can find my channel with all of these videos on it. So every time I do a video, I will link it to there, and also my website, which is Winnie and Associates LLC. So anyway, I've been involved in just working with people for so long that I just thought it horrible for me to just sit home and not try to do something. And you know, the pay is not in this. The pay would be as if I hear from you after, and you want to work with me on increasing your understanding of who you are in terms of what you can do, where you can go, how you can reinvent yourself. That would be the important thing. The excitement is that even if you don't come, I'm still excited to do what I'm doing. But I would certainly hope that you will hit share on my videos to get it out to some of the people that you're involved with. Also, touch me. You can send a text to 850-206-4814, and I will even try to get you some information, or certainly link you up to some other things, and maybe even meet with you as a telephone consultant, or we can do WhatsApp consultant, or we can do, you know, the messenger, we can do the visual through messenger exchange. So anyway, I'm going to say that I'm having a wonderful day. I hope you did yesterday. I hope today will be even a better day for you to take the plunge, look at multiple intelligences as a way forward. For those who don't know what multiple intelligences is, it looks beyond IQ. It looks beyond math and science. It looks beyond what else does this person have that is really a gift. It may be the gift of talking. It may be the gift of writing. It may be, the gift of singing. It may be the gift of dancing. It's just gifts, And the other thing is that if I have a friend, Lavender Williams, who is a publisher, and she always says, don't die with a book in you. And everybody has a story. And so I'm also going to promote her website, which is Candy Publishing. And they are having Corona journals right now. And I just purchased mine the other day. So I'm waiting for mine to come so I can write down some of the things I'm going through while under quarantine. And then I'm also, working on finishing up some other, books and commitments that I have. But I feel very gifted with multiple intelligences. And my learning styles for me personally is that I am a visual learner. I am an auditory learner. And I certainly am one that can move a little bit. And I like to touch things. So I'm just saying, you reach out, take that test, figure out who you are, post the results. No criticisms whatsoever. Just post your results under my name, and just have a wonderful day. Sometimes I sing you out and sometimes I don't. Today I'm just gonna hum you out. All right now. Have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for coming. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow, 9 a.m.